Both teams are sitting at 6-7, and one of them has to make the playoffs.
You're goddamn right, one of them.
So last week, Storm, you expressed some confidence that the Eagles were going to win out, that they were going to win this division at 9-7. Do you still feel that way after the Eagles barely hung on to a win against the Giants? And they were down to one wide receiver by the end of that game. Like you said, they were about to, McCown was about to throw on his helmet.
McCown was ready to take off the comm helmet.
Backup quarterback was about to run on the field and play wide receiver for that team. So,
hey, that's the kind of wide receiver I want on my team, not Alshon Jeffrey running to Josina Anderson, pitching out Carson Wentz.
So anyway, do you still think that your Birds are going to make the postseason?
If Wentz plays anything like he did in the second half with the bag boys that he had on offense, that, the baggers at Walmart, I absolutely think they will win. Because really what it comes down to is you go into Washington. Washington's pretty much ready to lay down. And yeah, it's going to be a close game. They're going to be ugly. That's just how they're going to have to win these football games. But that defense kind of turning around. I know they got slashed by Slayton in that first half. Second half.
Yeah, looking like Vintage Eli there, buddy.
Yeah. What happened to them in the second half? They had under 50 yards, I think, of total offense in the second half. So they turned it up. Yeah, and you're right. As they should. The weather was a factor. Don't get me wrong. But and I know it's the Giants, but still a rival game. It could have been Eli's last game. Who knows? We don't know anything like that. My biggest concern was, why the hell did you only dress 3 wide receivers?
I know. Shame on Doug Peterson.
And
you got it with the injuries that they've had all season. How can you do that?
Play. And they have a tight end playing like wide receiver. And JJ wound up getting hurt. Alshon obviously done for the year. So they're definitely in some trouble. But I don't see the Cowboys doing anything. So
yeah, this is so tough, man. Number one, because both teams have shown that they just are not very good. And you look at the Eagles, and you can explain that because of all the injuries that they've had. With the Cowboys, it's just so perplexing. And
Cowboys should be resting their players by now.
Yeah, they should. They really, really should. And logically, I'm so inclined to lean towards Dallas winning this division, but I just can't. I just can't. They have shown me that when the games matter, that they do not step up and perform. They just don't. And even though the Eagles have been decimated by injury, I still lean towards Philly winning this division. And a lot of that is because I think that this defense, even though they had a rough first half against the Giants, I think this defense could give that Dallas offense some problems. And I think that Carson Wentz is talented enough. They still have their 2 tight ends. Do you know if Jordan Howard's going to be back?
Who knows? I don't know.
But at least they've shown.
Hey, Boston Scott.
Yeah, Boston Scott, Jay Ajayi.
Yeah. Miles Sanders looked good.
They've at least shown signs that they can run the ball effectively. Yeah. So as much as it doesn't make any GD sense, I got to go with the Eagles as well, man.
Yeah, and obviously they're going to miss Lane Johnson a week or two as well, which is very scary, but...
Yeah, like call me an idiot, but I'd be an idiot to bet on the Cowboys in any game for the remainder of the season.
Well, and that's just it. I think if the Eagles had to go into Dallas for the next 2 weeks from now, I think we'd be talking a different story.
That's a big kicker, the fact that game is in Philadelphia.
But that Eagles team under Doug and under Wentz have for most of their career at home have been very successful, and that defense too. So who knows?
Yeah,
we'll see what happens this week. I mean, you got to think. I mean, the Eagles could actually wrap it up next week if your team goes in and beats Dallas. And
that wouldn't wrap it up. The Eagles would go 1 game up, and then they would still have to beat Dallas.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
We could wrap it up playing Dallas is what I'm saying.
You could wrap it up. Yeah. And really, you should be able to wrap it up anyway with that Dallas game because there's no excuse to have New York come to Philadelphia then in Week 17 and beat you.
We go to New York.
Oh, sorry about that. Still, there's no excuse there.
Eli redemption game?
Eli, Daniel Jones, whoever it is, no excuse for that. So I think it's a bummer that a team from that division gets to go to the playoffs. But as you pointed out to me as I was bitching and moaning about it the other day, that this has happened with other divisions before. Once in a blue moon, you have a division where
there's
always
those
sucks.
outliers, yeah.
And you know what? If one of those teams goes 9-7, I'll be able to stomach it. But if it's an 8-8 team, that's always tough to see a team that's not even over 500.
Well, you got to think if the Eagles wrap it up 16 or either team they wrap it up 16, they're going to sit there, start 17 and probably lose. So that would put you at 8-8.
Well, the Eagles could, I guess. What would happen if the Eagles beat the Cowboys, but then the Eagles lose Week 17, and the Cowboys win? What's the tiebreaker there? Because they split. How are they both in the division?
I'm not sure how it works. So basically, what happens if the Rams beat the Cowboys and then we win Washington, and then we beat the Cowboys the week after, it's over.
Oh, yeah, it's over. But
Yeah.
I'm assuming that both the Cowboys and Eagles are tied. I think they're
We
both
have
undefeated.
the common opponents. If Dallas beats Philly, it's over. Like, Dallas will
Yes.
have the head-to-head.
And actually, I think if Philly were to lose in that last week and the Cowboys won, the Cowboys would make it in because they would have the stronger divisional record.
Right.
Anyway, that division's a shit show. It's going to be fun to see how either one of those teams performs
That
in the
game's
playoffs.
on 425, and there will be a good chunk of America watching, I guarantee it.
Absolutely wild.